I seriously need your help. We're getting ready to swap everything by moving to a new country instead of just living inside of our school bus. And maybe this whole thing is just for a few months, and maybe it's for good. And this is the part where you come in. Okay, give me a second to explain all of this, and believe me, it will all make sense. That is the Huckleberry. That is our home. It's a 2008 ex-school bus that used to haul screaming kids, and now it holds, well, 2 screaming adults. It is currently parked here in the Arizona desert, where I can joyfully wear a short-sleeve t-shirt in the middle of winter, and the weather is gorgeous. Well, assuming you like dry and hot and sandy and dusty. It's that kind of gorgeous. Now, here's the key thing about this tale. Don't worry, I'll pick that up later. We're leaving the bus. We are putting this in storage and we are heading overseas. And I'm of 2 minds about it. Actually, 2 very different, strong minds. And that's really, honestly, seriously, where I could use some advice. Nikki and I needed something different. Oh, this is gonna be hell. Oh, there we go. We needed something different, and we had 2 real choices. We could keep the bus and create a homestead, or we could go back to traveling internationally. Now, on one hand, the homestead idea, it sounded pretty cool. I mean, get yourself a plot of land, 5-10 acres out in the middle of the West, preferably not quite desert, and then use that as a home base. You know, Nikki can do her, who the hell monkey-fisted these things in here? Nikki could do her gardening. I could get heavy machinery and drive around and dig holes. That would make me quite happy. And this was a serious consideration, and truthfully, there's a large part of me that really, really, really wishes we had gone with that option. Well, here's the other side, is moving to Europe, specifically Spain. This is not going to go well in this wind. Stop, stay, good boy. We love Spain. We have lived there on and off for probably the better part of a year now. I mean, total in country. And Nikki put it really interesting. The very, very first time we were ever in Barcelona, she looked at me and said, "Have you ever been homesick for a place where you've never been?" And somehow that just exemplified, completely illustrates the way we feel about Spain. Just a place that we love to be. So, homestead, Spain. So, Rick, why don't you just do both, you say? Well, that was certainly an option. But as I will tell you later, and it's a big one, we simply can't. There is just no physical way possible for us to do both. Okay, you are probably more than a little curious what the hell I'm doing here. No, this is not the pack for Spain. This is the pack to get to the place before we go to Spain. All of which is going to happen in a matter of weeks, I think. Again, there's another big part. So I got 2 big cliffhangers for you. We don't know where we're going, when we're going, or how we're getting there, and bothers the hell out of me. I'm putting this away so I can go get Nikki tomorrow at the airport, and we can actually start putting forks into the decision that we've already made. We weren't planning on coming down here today. We were going to do this later on, but we were so excited about being in Barcelona. We have choices. We either go to the vegetarian restaurant, which doesn't have tapas. It's only 7 o'clock. You don't eat dinner here at 7. So we're going to a Galician place where Nikki here had the audacity, no, it's a Basque place, audacity to ask for cheese. We're going down there, baby. Asked for cheese on a dish where the guy absolutely refused to put it on there. And then when he finally did, he absolutely refused to heat it up. So we're going to try to find that restaurant, and I want to see if she has the guts to ask for cheese again. She's nodding. Cheese?
Oh yes, cheese, of course.
Okay, it's very hot, I'm very thirsty, and the bus is a complete mess, so don't judge me. That's what the doctor ordered. Okay, we were talking affordability, or lack thereove. It's actually truly the lack thereof. Nothing like the sweet nectar of a non-alcoholic Budweiser. It was on sale. We were talking affordability, or more importantly, the lack of affordability of having two different lifestyles under one budget. So that's kind of why I drink non-alcoholic Budweiser, I suppose. The pinky is important. Those of you not in the know, and honestly, I don't know why you would know, I live on a fixed income. 4 years ago, I decided to quit a well-paying job and a lucrative career to not have a well-paying job and a lucrative career. I live on Social Security and what little savings I haven't managed to spend over the past 4 years. Money's tight. Oh, and let's drink to the ex-wife who still takes alimony from me every month and now takes half of my entire monthly income. Now, honestly, you shouldn't feel bad for me. Or maybe you should for a little bit. You know, go down to Patreon, throw me a couple bucks, buy me No, I'm starting to beg for money now. No, seriously, it's been a transition to learning how to live on a budget. Now, it's going okay, in a way. We basically have a budget of about $35 a day for lodging and food and things like that. We can do it. It's really hard in the States. You know, if you were to have a house, apartment, I don't know, anything other than wheeled homesteading, it is doable. And I'm finding it kind of enjoyable to live that way. But when you get to this crossroads of, I want to live on a homestead, I also want to travel. You can't do both. Even when I'm overseas, that still has to be put in storage somewhere. It still has insurance payments that it has to be made on it. And that's a couple $100 maybe, but that's a couple $100 I don't have. Okay, this isn't going to take itself down, so don't worry, I'll pick that one up too. So yeah, you can see where, oh, dear God, you can see where this is going to be a financial problem. It's also the bigger problem I've got right now, and it's just driving me absolutely crazy, is I don't know where we're going. I don't know when we're going. And it's eating me up inside. This is a big one. So I'm going to stop working for a minute and try to explain it. So, root beer, by the way, as long as it's got the word beer in it, plus it was on sale as well. We are spontaneous, Nikki and I. We are spontaneous to a fault. It's just kind of fun to go, hey, would you like to traipse over to Amsterdam? And the other person will go, well, yes, I would. And off you go. That's spontaneity. This is not. We honestly don't know where we're going. We've been talking about this for months. We know we want to go to Spain, but where in Spain? It has so many different areas and cultures, and Nikki and I both just seem to be locked up. We don't know exactly where we want to go. We're going to scout out our permanent home. So it feels important. It feels like we need to pick a place that we're pretty sure. And so because we can't pick a place, we haven't picked a date, we haven't looked at airline tickets, we haven't looked for apartments on where to live. Everything sort of revolves around knowing the city, village, town, general area that we're going. We just have a general idea that next week we put the bus in storage. Week after that, we go to Miami, say goodbye to family, and then off we go somewhere. But where that plane's going to land, we have no freaking idea. I would not mind. By the way, if you're ever in Sieges, it's a weird recommendation, but the best coffee and chai you've ever had. I'm just going to keep holding this so you won't eat. That way I can get it later. Is that? Oh, it's written in dust. That's right, you get Hi.
And I'm gonna do a cinnamon stick to the
Thank you. So I just sent Nikki a note, a text that said by this weekend, we absolutely have to pick the place. I think it's down to either Alicante or Murcia. We've been to one, we haven't been to the other. They're both in the sort of same region. They're both in an area that we think we're going to like. So we're just going to have to pick one and go with it. So Yepper, we have a hard decision to make. Part of it is about leaving the United States. I mean, that's what the whole title actually said now, wasn't it? And that's another one of the big problems. We don't know if we're honestly running away from something or to something. Or is it okay to do both? Now, it is no huge secret that Nikki and I are not MAGA Republicans. Big surprise. Whoops. Hi. I don't know what that was. And I don't say that to be divisive or anything, but honestly, no matter what side of the divide you're on, you know that the world, the United States world, is extremely divided. It's extremely divisive. It's extremely... Nobody knows where the hell it's going. This is sure to earn me some non-points and some points from people, but I don't want to be a fearmonger and I don't want to start raging against the machine, but nobody knows what's gonna happen. There are so many signs that history is repeating itself. Now, I'm of the belief that things will be okay, usually, but then I also said that a lot of what's happening now, for instance, a militarized national police force, which is ICE, being able to do what they do. I never would have thought that was possible. Let's get a little, the man bun is getting caught up there. This whole video was supposed to be a fun little romp on indecisiveness, and now all of a sudden I've seriously depressed the hell out of myself. But there are things that you probably don't know. Nikki, my wife, is a naturalized citizen. She was born in Cuba. She came over when she was 7.5 years old. She knows and has a history of what authoritarian governments are like, but she is a U.S. citizen. She's been one for a very long time, and for a very long time, she has been very proud of this country that has given her and her family so much. But now, you hear on the news, and it's happening, that anything is possible now. I hate to say that, I hate to say that, but I worry. The person who is sharing my life with me can be taken away from me because she's of Hispanic origin, because she speaks Spanish, because she wasn't born in this country. She was brought to this country. And it seems like they want to take that away from people now. And honestly, that's a big reason we might want to just stay away. So yeah, I asked the question earlier, do you leave a place because you're running away or because you're running towards something? For us, it's definitely both. I hate the idea of leaving and not fighting, but at the same time, we have a lot to lose. Her family, all of them, who knows what's going to happen to them? It's when you're in a Hispanic world, and because of my marriage, I am. It's a whole different side than what you see on the mainstream Caucasian news. There's real fear out there. And now I'm afraid too, because I'm a part of that world. So yeah, we're running towards Spain. That was one of the big reasons that we decided not to get a homestead right now. Do we want to buy a piece of property and live in a land that's going to kick us out? Okay, it was not my intention to go down a political rabbit hole. It was honestly just trying to decide what the hell we want to do. Now, I actually have found the perfect clip from a video of years past. When it comes down to, do I want to stay, fight, have a homestead, drive heavy machinery on my own land, or go to Spain? All of a sudden, it hit me 2 hours ago that how much anger I had at, not being able to enjoy Barcelona, to everything that was taken away from me. And now all of a sudden, it just hit me equally as strongly that I'm back home. I'm back where I need to be. And Oh Lord, I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm back. Subscribe for more videos.
I will step down when I'm talking about the weather.